Alright, for this video, I'm going to be showing you how to roll the bite rim and then how to place it onto the recording base. So as you would have seen from the video that I showed you during the theory lecture, you can use the Bunsen burner to soften your wax before rolling it. But as I've mentioned, I actually prefer using the micro torch to soften the wax and then rolling it. So I'm gonna first explain to you the objective of rolling the wax, right? So what are you trying to achieve? So you're gonna first, if you are using a micro torch, right? So you're first going to soften a little bit of the piece of wax along the outline of the wax, just a little bit. And what you want to see is the wax starting to melt, so starting to turn into liquid. You don't want the entire thickness of the wax to be liquid, just a little bit. So when you start seeing that the wax is changing into a liquid form, you will then fold the piece of wax onto the next surface. All right, so you will continue doing this until you have a roll of wax, right? I just want you to look carefully at what I'm doing. I will try to explain what I'm doing as I am actually doing it. So as you can see, I'm going to flame the area that I'm going to fold. Right, so I can see that this area is already turning into liquid, so I am then going to fold it onto itself. Right, it's very important that after you would have rolled the rim, that it looks like a solid mass, so you must not be able to see any separation lines. So there we go, like so. So just to explain again, so I am flaming this area and also flaming the area in which I'm going to fold the wax onto. All right, and ensuring that both areas have a bit of liquid before actually folding the wax onto itself. There we go. It's very important that you do not overheat the wax, so try and not overheat your wax. Okay, so then I have my rolled piece of wax. Now what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to stretch it a bit, because I would want this roll to actually fit onto the entire ridge area. So I'm going to slowly stretch out the wax. While I'm stretching it, I'm also forming a rectangular shape, so little stretches at a time. Okay, and then forming a rectangle. Okay, you would want this area here to be the one that goes on top of the ridge, right? Because that's where you can see the separation between the wax sheets. stretching it a bit more. Okay, so I'm just gonna check now if the length that I have is actually sufficient for the red. Okay, no, I still need to stretch it a bit some more. So I'm gonna stretch it a bit more. Now I'm just concentrating on the ends because I don't want to stretch it so much anteriorly, because I'm thinking of the dimension that I will have to form there. Okay, so I think this is just about fine. So now when I'll be placing the rim, right, you need to remember that anteriorly there needs to be some sort of protrusion or inclination, and when I do place my rim, I need to ensure that it is in line with that point, the 10 millimeter measurement. And here at the back, I'm going to use the lines that I had transferred on the landing area to guide me as to where to place my rim. So for you to do this effectively, you need to actually stand up, and when you will be placing your rim, you need to look from above. So at this point on, I will be forming the horseshoe shape that I need for the rim, remembering that this shape must not be a constricted U or a closed U, but also you need to take into consideration the shape of the actual ridge that you are going to place the rim onto. So I'm just gonna look above. Right, I'm also just going to use my ruler to ensure that where I have placed my rim is actually where I need to have placed it. Right, so as you can see, so I've placed my ruler onto the 10 millimeter point, and the interior portion of my rim is touching that point, so that is fine. And now I'm going to turn my attention to the back to ensure that I've placed my rim to be centered or to be in line. Sorry, need to ensure that my rim is centered and in line with the marking that I had made. And then I need to ensure the same here, that it is the same this side. Right, so as you can see, I already have my U shape. Okay, so from this point on, I'm just going to double check that anteriorly that it's fine. So yes, it is fine. Okay, so from this point on, I need to then seal my rim to my recording base. So that's what I'm going to do now. So using excess wax, right, I am going to seal my rim to my base plate. So I'm going to apply heat onto my wax knife, then I'm going to scoop some wax, and I am going to seal the rim to the base plate. Like so. Okay, I also need to seal the rim lingually as well. Alright, so when I'm happy that my rim is secured on the recording base, what I will then do, alright, I'm going to take into consideration the dimensions of the rims that I need to create. So here anteriorly we said we want the rim to be 5 millimeters. So I'm just going to measure my 5 millimeters so that when I am taking away wax, I know where exactly to take the wax. But remember, at this point in time, we're not necessarily going to take a lot of wax anteriorly because we want to maintain that 10 millimeter measurement. So it should be here. So 5 millimeters will end there. Right. The next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take the marking that I had made on my model, right, which represents the center of the ridge, and then I'm going to take this line and I'm going to transfer it to the top of the rim. Okay, let me do that again. I don't know if it actually was showing what I was doing. So I'm going to take the marking at the back and I'm going to transfer it to the top of my rim. Okay, so this will also assist me in knowing just how far I need to take or carve out the wax. So here at the back we want the measurement to be 10 millimeters. So obviously this means this line will be or it will correlate with the 5 millimeter mark. So then I have 5 millimeters on this side and 5 millimeters on the other. Oh, sorry, you can't actually see that. So right, so basically this line here will correlate to the 5 millimeter point. So you're gonna have 5 millimeters on either side of the line. Right, so I'm gonna do the same this side, 5 mils and 5 mils. Right, so already I kind of know that all of this excess wax I need to melt away. All of that I need to melt away. All of this wax I need to melt away. So what is going to happen is I'm going to melt this wax, right, but as I'm melting this